Thanks for tuning in. As you know, this video is my first one. Is about a floating shelf. It really doesn't float. Ooh, that'd be spooky. But there's no brackets on the bottom. It just sticks on the wall and looks like it's floating. It's really not floating. So to get right into it, here's a picture of it. Alright, and I made a simple drawing. Here's dirt. Sorry about that. Here's basically the bracket. You make any size you want. I make it as small as possible for the load that's going to go on top. The shelf is actually a box. You want a little bit overhang on the sides, and a little bit over here, a little bit over here, and on the front you can put anything you want on it. Now I made it out of 1x6s, 1x6 and 1x4 and 2x3s. It worked good for me. So the bracket is simply this. Not much to it. Screws go in the back. What the hell is that? Screws go in the back. And it goes on the wall this way, like that. Okay? Not much to it. I did this for a minimum amount of cutting. So, because I used a 1x6 and I've got a 3/4 inch front, I'll show you that in a minute. I only went 4 inches. And 2 3/8. Well, it's supposed to be 2 1/2. It doesn't matter because the shelf's going to sit on top of this and come down. Now the shelf I made is over here. Hang on a minute. As you can see, it's a box. That's the bottom. Here's the bottom. You got the sides, and you got the front. And the top. So what happens is, let me get this stuff out of the way. Alright, so here we are. Turn this around. Now this is 48 inches. The shelf's less than that, as you can see, a couple of inches. Why? So I can adjust left or right. And I only needed just a little bit of clearance to get all the studs, and then it just sits on the wall. Now I made it like this to match the dresser. Insert photo here. So it matches the dresser pretty good. Of course, it's a smaller scale. And to attach this little stuff, I used super glue. But I got a little sloppy with it, as you might be able to see on a couple of spots. You can see the white where the stain did not take because of the super glue. I didn't have that CA glue with the activator. So I'm sure if I did that, I'd probably still have a mess here, there, over here. But just be careful with the super glue. It worked really great. They're not coming off and they're staying on. For the dental molding, I just used a brad nailer every once in a while. And that's about it. And this just comes right off the wall and goes right back on. Minimum cutting. The 1x6 I did not cut. The 1x4s on the end I did not cut. The only thing I had to cut was the bottom, because it had to be 4 inches. So this bottom piece is 4 inches. So everything sits flush up against the wall. Give it a little bit of room, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. You'll be fine with that. And this is 4 inches. So this is the only one I had to rip down with the table saw, the 4 inches. You can use a circular saw with a guide. You can use anything you want. Now, because I had to make this match the dresser in the bedroom, I had no idea what color stain that was. And it took a lot of practicing, mixing a couple of stains, try them on a test piece, let them dry. That was a mistake. Because they said, hey, this looks close, but when it dried, it was a different color. So let the stain dry if you're mixing and matching stains to match something. And then I just put a little bit of polyurethane on here. Of course, I did some sanding. Now, I'm not going to show you how to cut wood. I'm sure if you're interested in this video, you already know how to cut wood. You know how to put a screw in. You know how to use glue. You have all your own tools. You use any tool you want. I'm not here to show you any tools. I'm not here for any sponsorship. I'm just sharing my ideas. And let's get this out and turn this around. It is kind of heavy, and I think it looks pretty darn good. It matches the dresser very well, and that's how you make a floating shelf. Like I said, it really doesn't float, but it takes up minimum room, and it goes right on the wall like that. So what do you think? I like it. I'm glad you clicked. Like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. And this is my first video, my first one. So of course I'm going to read all the comments and see what I can do to improve. Was my angle wrong, or what can I do to make it better? There's a million videos out there on how to. I just want to share my ideas on how I make this or how I make that. I'm not going to show you how to. I'll give you some hints and tips, but that's about it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Let me put some more pictures in there, and you can see the pictures and how this blends in. Thank you.